So we have a Yuengling lager. Again, same issue here. This is the only single can I could get, so it's a wine bottle. We are going to pour this into a glass. So, as I'm sure you could guess, I've definitely had this beer many times in my days. So, where I'm from in Indiana, though, you can't actually buy this because they don't distribute past the Mississippi, or at least they didn't when I was growing up. So it was always a bit of a treat when somebody east of the Mississippi would come. They would always bring some Yuengling, which frankly is just cheap ass beer. But back then we didn't really have craft beer. It existed, but like there wasn't a lot of good stuff. So if you're on the East Coast, there wasn't like, you know, an innumerable amount of craft beers with great quality. So the thing that, you know, some folks would bring would be some Yuengling. So, all right, here we go. So, gonna pour it into a nice little pint glass here. Nothing too surprising. I didn't check the date. Let me check the date on this. Dog hair. Speaking of, where are my dogs? I don't know. Anyway, all right, date is illegible. Okay, cool. So we have a beautiful amber. I'd call this an amber to a dark amber color, borderlining brown. A tan off-white head, I would call it. Big bubbles, nice stream of little bubbles for carbonation, which is really nice, but the head's got some pretty big bubbles on it, so let's see. All right, beautifully clear, nice and brilliant, for obvious reasons. Definitely a filtered domestic lager. All right. Okay, right off the nose, I definitely get the smell of some unfermented sugars. So you can't smell sweet, but sometimes because we lack the vernacular like I do now, it smells like it's sweet, which again means that it smells reminiscent of things that I associate with sweet, if that makes sense. So while trying to go through that, what does it smell like? It smells like malt. It smells like fruit. It's got some apple pear aromas, but not in an acetaldehyde manner. I do get a little bit of caramel. It's cold. It's always hard when it's cold. But then again, you don't want to drink beer warm, so you know, take what you can get. Yeah, I definitely get some like unfermented sugars, like it might be corn sugar. I can't remember. I think it's corn that they use in Yuengling. You definitely do get that. All right, going on to the taste. It's somewhat dry. Definitely has a little bit of a sweet finish. It's bready, malty, a little bit chewy from that malt. It does have a bit of a cheap malt flavor, which there's no real way to describe it other than just it tastes like lower quality malt. It's got a very big bread. I call it like a bread crust flavor, like a white bread crust flavor. I get no hops. There's zero hop flavor or aromas. You get a little bit of alcohol on the nose now that it's starting to warm up a little bit. Not a hot alcohol, but you definitely do get it. Yeah, there's not a lot to it. There's a little bit of roast. So what I just did was when I'm having a hard time tasting a beer, what I'll do is I will swish it around in my mouth a lot. It does two things. One, it gets out a lot of the carbonation, which can be prickly and can kind of mask some of the more delicate flavors. But two, the other thing that it does, actually does three things really. Two, it helps a lot of the things that are in it kind of come off, all those aromas, those volatiles, and makes them a little bit easier to taste. And then three, it warms it up. So I wait until it gets like kind of like very warm, like body temp warm. And then from there, I'm able to get a lot more flavors. So like those flavors that maybe I couldn't pick out before, I'm able to get even more of them. Now, granted, that's not how you want to drink a beer because it's kind of unpleasant. But what it does do is it makes it so that when you drink it again, you can kind of pick up on those subtleties. So it's not much to it. So